just one more note. With this shit going on, I'm waking up with my hand twitching. My hand don't twitch, people. It's twitching. It was twitching last night. It woke me up. It was twitching. It's been twitching off and on throughout the day. And I'm trying to sleep, right? And I'm like, I'm either writing in my head as I'm sleeping, and I'm like, no, I don't want to get up and, right? So why? Why has that started again? Huh? Who's talking to me? I told you, it's a male voice. Is it voice to skull to drive me nuts? Is it energy weapons that's making me twitch? Or is it just fucking nerves? Which one is it? Like, you know, like twitching. I can't control it. I have to, like, really concentrate to try and stop it. It just started. Do you think it's stress related? Or do you think I'm being zapped with energy weapons? And they cranked up the fucking frequency. Because I have proof of energy weapons, people. If I didn't have proof, I wouldn't talk about it, but I have proof. So just think about that one. Okay, people, so now it is what? April 6th? 2020. I'm going to do this. I'll make it kind of quick, okay? I want to do a live, but people, I'm just too busy right now, and you know I struggle with these lives with the volume and all this crap, right? So, okay, so we know that there's a lot of funky shit going on. It's cat and mouse right now, people, with my daughter's body. Basically. Okay? This is how these people operate. This is what they did with Andre, when they took Andre with their heavy fucking hand, playing fucking games, criminalizing my family. They criminalized basically innocent teenagers and basically fucked up their lives. Right? And now ShaMay's dead. Obviously, Ciera's now dead. After 8 years of hardcore addiction from the time she was illegally kicked out of the house in December of 2012. So I think Christine Miller from MCFD should be proud of herself because that was her handiwork. And anyone else that was cheering her on at that time. Right? I mean, Uncle John, well, that was another fucking shit show. Right? And, you know, it's all about money, people. One way or another, it all boils down to money all the fucking time. Money and power tripping. You get with Ciera on that video when I went to that house, and you got that flash of that fucking, what are they called? Goth. A goth looking corner. That corner looked like she was goth, people. Dark and just a big dark cloud. It's in her fucking face. You can see it. Goth. And what is goth? Right? Gargoyles and ghouls. Same thing with that cop standing out in the fucking grass. He looked like he was so fucking depressed he was ready to jump off a fucking bridge. It's because he's goth, people. These people are goth. They fucking run with the fucking devil, okay? They're doing very, very morbid shit. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Ciera wasn't dead. I never got to see her, people. I was on the property. There was absolutely no reason to do what they did outside of for nefarious reasons, okay? They were committing a heinous crime by denying me access to identify my daughter's body. And we all know they like to take out organs from people who are alive. All right? And even if she wasn't alive, people, just with them bolting out through the back door the way they did, okay, and then disappearing into the dark like the goth that they are, an hour and a half later after they bold-faced lied just to fucking scare us away after they called in backup, treating my family like criminals, people. They treated my family like criminals when they took Andre. They treated my family like criminals when they took Uncle John. They treated my family like criminals when they fucking hooked up a dead body to machines with ShaMay. They treat my family like criminals after they injured my grandson and then laugh in my face and say, you can't do anything about it because we didn't take the MRI. And now they're criminalizing my family with Ciera, starting at that house when they called in their fucking backup to sneak out a fucking car with a body in it, people. And they've been hiding the body ever since. Who in their right mind, when have you ever heard in your freaking lifetime that the only way to identify a body is to go to some funeral home and look at the head after it's been embalmed, and then that is your opportunity to identify the body? How do we even know the body has a head, since we're dealing with goth and ghouls that have dark fucking clouds over them and clearly look depressed? So anyway, people should be very concerned because it just shows how easy people can disappear, and the cops will never call you to tell you that your loved one disappeared because it was the cops who helped to make your loved one disappear. And the reason that I'm saying it like that, people, is because I have a son, Brooks, my oldest son, who is technically missing in action. Now, my son kind of chose that for himself. In part, he chose to separate himself from the family because he's always been a little independent, and that's just the way he is. The other part is, I tell him, don't come around me, don't call me if you're fucking drinking. But the thing is, people, with his mental health issues, he's been in and out of hospitals, right? And just the way these fucking goth people behave, I'm not broad sweeping people as goth as in they're all bad, because it's a subculture to a culture, right? But grave robbers, you know, these grave robbers, the cops in the corner and those types of fucking hospitals, we're dealing with absolute grave robbers, okay? They take my son, let's just say Brooks, to the hospital because he's having a mental health breakdown for whatever fucking reason, right? And we know that they like to harvest organs from living bodies. There is absolutely nothing to stop these people from fucking taking my oldest son's organs and then taking his body and destroying it and hiding the evidence, because that's what they like to do, people. And never fucking call me. Never fucking call me, okay? Because they'll use some third-party person, a cop, and another cop to identify my son and put it on their fucking fake fucking medical files that he died in hospital, and that cop or that doctor, some third-party person that has no relation or any history with my son, will donate his organs because I'm not available. They didn't take the time to hunt me down. They didn't take the time to phone me, even though they know who I am. Even though they know I'm his mother. They won't phone me because they don't need to phone me, people. This is what Ciera is teaching us. They are showing us that they don't need the parents, right, or the family to do what they want with the body. Okay? Because if they did, we wouldn't be having these videos, all right? This wouldn't be a fucking issue, people, right? So this just confirms to me that if I don't ever hear from my son again, because he does watch my videos, how often he watches them, I don't know. That's how he found out ShaMay died, by watching my videos. So far, he hasn't called me. So he could be dead too, people. His body could be harvested from these fucking goons, okay? Because that's what they are. They're fucking goons. And they would have never called me because they would have had some cop in some corner or whoever or some crooked fucking doctor sign off on the organs, and they just would have burned his fucking body and said that the family didn't care. Because that's what they're trying to do with Ciera. Okay? I refuse, I'm telling you people, I refuse to identify Ciera in a fucking casket embalmed. This is like taking a fucking ton of salt, a ton, and pouring it on my family after what they did with ShaMay. From the head up, what did you see? ShaMay's face embalmed, falling off, okay, her skull, basically. They can never fucking deny that, people. It's out there, right? This is payback. Payback's a bitch. You should have kept your mouth shut, Miss Charney. Yeah, well, for the ones that are watching that are like fucking goth and goons, right? Well, you know the old saying, fuck you, right? You know, go down swinging, because you people deserve to be fucking buried from where you came from, back in the fucking hole, because you crawled out of a fucking hole like fucking zombies. You act like fucking zombies. I don't even know how the government can employ these people and call them fucking people when they're more like fucking zombies. Only zombies that eat fucking people are fucking zombies, okay? These people eat people. They're eating Ciera's flesh. Maybe not literally, but for all we know, they're eating something, people. Okay? If I was a Punjabi in this community, and they did this to a Punjabi man, and then told his family, you can't identify him unless he's dead. Well, we'll make sure he's dead first, after we take what we want out of him. And then we're going to embalm him, put him in a fucking casket, and you can come look at his face. If I was a Punjabi, and these fucking goons said this to a fucking Punjabi, do you know what the Punjabi community would do within a day? There would be 500 standing outside that fucking facility, and they would be calling to have it shut down. But because I'm not a Punjabi, there's nobody standing around me to help me with this, people. Because I'm the one, my family members are the ones that are propping up the Punjabis with the fucking organs. Because it's the Punjabis who can afford to buy them, people. It's all about supply and demand, okay? And if it's not the fucking Punjabis buying these organs, right, it's the universities that want them for their students, right? Or it's the Chinese who want them for their soup, okay? Because we know Chinese like to eat shit like that. Somebody likes to eat shit like that. Because this is just way too fucking bizarre. Okay? And it's getting more bizarre by the day. We're going into day 11, people, and I have still not been able to identify my daughter's body. Okay? It is unacceptable for me to show up some fucking funeral home be told that I can't have a funeral because I'm only allowed 5 people in the room 6 feet apart from each other, right? Or I might get lucky and get 10 people in the room with everybody 6 feet apart. But the thing is, I can't identify my daughter's body unless she's already embalmed and in a casket. Like, who does that, people? Because they're hiding something, people. How do we know it wasn't the cops in that little house who took their billy club and whacked Ciera on the fucking head to give her the big noggin so that the blood would come out so that they could set up fucking John, okay? Because is John telling the truth? Oh, the cop told me if I say anything, I'm going down. It's going to be me, John, who's going to go down. Not the cops, not the coroner, but John. Why would he say that, people? He hasn't been charged with anything. Anything that they fucking did was fake. It was just a waste of taxpayers' resources because we know at the end of the day, they rely on their toxicology to end up rubber stamping their file to say it was an overdose. So if that's the case, if they already know it's going to be an overdose, people, because that's their favorite card. They've been getting away with that card for fucking years. They have harvested thousands and thousands of people based on that fucking overdose card, right? In terms of suicide. Oh, sorry, accident. Right? So why are they threatening John to stay quiet? Why? Because John witnessed them taking the body out through the back fucking door? Is that what they don't want him to talk about? Right? Right? The guy's gonna walk one way or another. He's not gonna get charged with anything because they're not gonna want him to fucking talk, people. They're not gonna want to tell him to tell us in court or anywhere for that matter, right? Or anyone that they took Ciera's body out through the back door when I was standing on the porch with my kids, as they were straight up lying to me. This is what I mean. They are fucking goons. Only goons do shit like this, okay? And nobody is safe because all you have to do is simply disappear, fucking be grabbed off the street, fucking disappear. They'll take you to some fucking hospital after they knocked you on the fucking head. And because there's nobody there to say, yes, that's my family member, through their legislation, people, it says right here, well, okay, your family member's not here, your dad's not here, your mom's not here, your brother's not here, your uncle's not here, but I know you. I know you through my police file. I know you through my, whatever, right, file. I know you from the corner fucking store. I've talked to you 3 times at the corner fucking store. I know your name is Joe, okay? So because I know you, I can now say, yeah, you agree to organ donation. That's all they need, people. That's all they need. So they take your organs, whether you're dead or not, because there's nobody there to witness it. Because they've removed all the witnesses, people. This is what Ciera is showing us, okay? Just like with ShaMay. Uncle John is showing the way, ShaMay is showing the way, and now Ciera is showing the way. Ciera is showing everybody how fucking easy it is for these goons to come in there and fucking railroad you, take what they want, and then hide the fucking evidence under legislation. Okay? Oh, John said that was Ciera, so that's all we needed. We don't need you. Oh, well, if it wasn't John, it was the coroner. Out of 3, we win. Doesn't matter if it was John, doesn't matter if it was the cops, it doesn't matter if it was the coroner. The point is, we got the body, and you'll never really get to see it. And when you do, it's just a slap in the face and a reminder of what we did with ShaMay. Ha 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 ha. And while we're laughing at you about ShaMay, ha 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 ha, we're going to rub it in your face that we fucked over your little grandson and we made it so that we can harvest him at any time in our point in life when we want to come in there and take his organs because we've got the perfect fucking recipient to implant them into. Because it's that simple, people. It's that fucking simple. Your life is pointless. You don't have a life. You breathe for these goons to come in at any point in your life to harvest you at their leisure. Okay? And when they do, they'll do a fucking fast one on you and your family, and they may or may not tell you, okay? If they harvested Brooks's organs and my son is actually dead, they'll never tell me, people. Because through their legislation, they don't have to, because they'll just list him as missing in action and nobody claimed his body. But the doctor was kind enough to donate his organs, even though they took out his organs while he was strapped to a fucking table without anesthesia, having a mental fucking breakdown as they were cutting him open. Welcome to China. Welcome to fucking China. Because that's basically what they did to Ciera by denying me access to identify my daughter's body. And being that it's not happening to a Punjabi, it will continue to happen until the well dries up, people. And when the Punjabis start fucking feeding on themselves, because it was a Punjabi who illegally harvested my daughter's organs, ShaMay's organs, well, let 1,000 of theirs be treated like ours. And then maybe, just maybe, they might fucking step up to the plate and become fucking real fucking Canadians. Because as it is right now, people, they're sitting fucking quiet on this shit. Okay? And the cops and the coroner and the goons, they know it. They know it. Because there's the public union sector who uses public tax dollars to commit heinous crimes, and then there's the private sector that facilitates those crimes by trafficking those organs. And being that I live in a majority of a Punjabi fucking community, where do you think these organs are going? But you see, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't bother them, right? Because the well is not, you know, they're drinking out of the well, people. But when the well dries up, when there are no more Cieras, no Brookses, no Amaris, no ShaMays, right? No Andres, no little Leia Mays, you know, no brown, no black people left, no white people left, no native people left, and it's all just a bunch of Punjabis running around with the fucking Chinese. The Chinese will be looking at the Punjabis will be looking at the Chinese, and they'll be like, okay, who's next? Who's fucking next? Well, our public union sector, right? The good guys, the ones that serve the public, you know, they'll be retired by that time. They'll be retired with their fucking bulging portfolios and their blood money. Anyway, so I'm going into War Room 1 for the next couple of days. I'm going to work on finishing up my notice of claim. I'm adding in Ciera's, right? The plaintiff alleges that the BC government is responsible for allowing a poisonous illegal drug supply to be freely distributed on the streets through cartels and other gang-affiliated groups for the purpose to target individuals so that illegal organ harvesting can occur. Based on what the coroner's office did and the RCMP did to Ciera's body and what they continue to do to Ciera's body and her family. Okay? You're listening to these videos. They've got me running around in fucking circles, right? Being dicked around by men who basically sound the fucking same, if you notice. 3 different men, but they pretty much all sound the same. You have to remember, when you're in a situation like me, oftentimes when you phone a fucking phone number, they redirect your call to somebody else that, what is it called? You know, role plays, right? So that they can screen and steer you away from getting the information out to whoever, you know, public in general. Oh no, are you serious? Oh no, that can't be. When in fact, you know, they know what's up, because I'm not saying these places I called are not legitimate, but you know, I take these things, I really do, with a grain of salt, because again, they're using tax dollars to commit crimes, right? And because they've been doing it for so long and nobody fights back, it's a slam dunk for them, people. What's this coroner gonna do now? He's got my daughter's body sitting up in fucking Coquitlam now. Coquitlam, that's another fucking hour drive away, right? Does he honestly think that I'm going to go to Coquitlam now? And what? I'll phone him tomorrow. See if they'll let me identify Ciera's body. If they do, that would be great. Problem solved. We can move on. If they sit up there and hum and haw and argue with me, what's going to happen? Well, then I'll be phoning around for what? A month? To get a dead end? Right? Because at the end of the day, the end game is to hide the evidence. Right? Isn't that what it is? Isn't that why they denied me looking at Ciera? Right? As they're accusing somebody of something, but we don't know what it is, because as long as they don't talk, they won't get into trouble. That's the way, if you just don't talk, you just won't get into trouble. Well, what the fuck is that? Like, seriously. Right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it on that, people. I don't even know what I'm going to name this. I am just going to try and finish up with this notice of claim. Now, I do have one Punjabi man, supposedly, people, looking at what I've written so far in regards to, obviously, anti-ShaMay. You know, the shit that went on with Uncle John and those court cases, right? And he has the link to my YouTube channel, so I would suspect he's watching it, right? But I'm not hearing anything, people. I'm not getting a fucking phone call or anyone coming to my door saying, I'll help you. Okay? So what does that fucking tell you? Tells you that I'm not going to get any help. And if I do, it would be a miracle. Okay? Because if a Punjabi man actually fucking helped me with this, then it might open up the doorway for the Punjabis themselves to actually put a fucking stop to this shit. But I'm really questioning if they want it to stop, people. Because they're not going to harvest their own until the well dries up. And right now, the well is still fairly full, right? Because us breeders are still having babies without realizing how dangerous it is to have kids in fucking Canada.